Broadcasting live. The Evening Report at 6 starts right now.
The Williston Police Department says a man was struck and killed by a vehicle this afternoon. Good evening and welcome to the Evening Report. I'm Amatangelo. Police say shortly before 3:30 this afternoon they responded to a call for service on 141st Avenue Northwest. They say a pedestrian was struck and killed by someone driving a vehicle. Police are not releasing the man's name until his family has been notified. An investigation into the incident is ongoing. Pipeline operators and state officials are working to clean up a spill of a natural gas liquids pipeline in McKenzie County. It happened about 9 miles southeast of Watford City yesterday when a contractor for McKenzie County Rural Water Board bored under the line. The owner of the pipeline, One Oak, has isolated the damaged portion of the line and is now venting about 3,000 barrels of NGL out of the line. A Williston man has been charged with theft. The Williston Police Department says they received a call for theft at Albertsons in March. Using video surveillance, police were able to identify 43-year-old Timothy Pulliam. Court documents say Pulliam walked into the store, found an unlocked rug doctor and a container of soap, and left without paying. Pulliam has been charged with Class C felony theft. He has been released on a PR bond. His next court date is at the end of August. The Richland County State's Attorney has decided not to file charges against a Catholic priest who served in parishes in Windermere and Milnor. The Fargo Diocese placed the Reverend Thomas Feltman on administrative leave in May, pending a review by social services about his interactions with children. Prosecutors say Feltman's touching of girls was socially inappropriate, but there was no evidence of a sex offense. Feltman's attorney says his client has always denied any wrongdoing. A burglary on the river. Bismarck police are investigating a break-in at the Lewis and Clark riverboat at the Missouri River. Someone smashed a window and emptied the cash register drawer late Tuesday or early Wednesday. Police are reviewing video surveillance footage. A former Newtown High School teacher has been sentenced to probation and time served for destroying a printer. Authorities say Lucas Kostelecki went into the vocational building in February and used a hammer to smash the $6,700 printer to pieces. He later resigned, and he hasn't explained why. He pleaded guilty to criminal mischief. A man suspected of stealing people's credit cards from rooms at a Bismarck hotel has been arrested. Police say the suspect was a night clerk at the Hampton Inn and would use his position to duplicate keys in order to get into rooms. The stolen cars were then used at stores around town. Police were able to identify the suspect through security footage. The Ward County Jail has been under the microscope since the death of inmate Dustin Irwin in October of 2014. It led to charges against Sheriff Stephen Kakowski, which were later dropped after he resigned. The North Dakota Department of Corrections says jail staff have made significant progress since a non-compliance order was issued in December of 2014. The DOCR says during the past 32 months, it has noted an improvement in the culture, meaning staff is properly trained to provide humane, professional correctional services to inmates. Inmate grievances are down and there are less employee turnover. DOCR staff will still do twice-monthly compliance checks going forward. Good news for oil producers. Crude prices are trending up by 7% in just a few days. This after a renewed promise from OPEC earlier in the week to cut oil production. Crude oil closed the day at $49.73, an 8-week high. While industry leaders say it's good news, they're hoping the upward trend keeps going.
We hope to see a stronger trend upward coming into the late summer, early fall on the oil price. We really need another $7 to $12 in North Dakota to make this oil economy flow.
In order to maintain oil jobs in the Bakken, Ness says we need an increase in oil prices. He also says it would help with some of the budget challenges the state is going to see with lower income tax and sales tax.
Predicted that 2018 was going to be a big year, expecting to see the inventories tighten on the oil supply, oil demand, but we haven't seen that happen. So continue to be in this flux area.
Ness says the next couple of months are going to indicate what the oil industry will look like next year. The Trump administration is asking a federal appeals court in Denver to hold off on a decision regarding a major fracking rule implemented by the Obama administration. The president wants to roll back the rule that would require drilling companies to disclose what chemicals they're using for fracking. The rule was put on hold last year when a Wyoming judge said the Bureau of Land Management actually had no authority to set it. Cashwise in Williston is teaming up with the Williston Coyotes in efforts to raise money for new equipment. Jamisha Lai tells us how the community's act of giving can make a huge difference. If you missed today's event, donations will still be accepted at the store's checkout. Once the new governor's residence is finished, the one that's been in service since 1960 will either be hauled away or demolished. But the one that housed governors from 1893 until 1960 is still around, And earlier this week, some familiar faces showed up to reminisce about the time they spent in the mansion. The former governor's mansion is open from 10 to 5 on weekdays and noon to 4 on weekends. Tomorrow is the Upper Missouri Valley Relay for Life here in Williston. It's the 20th year Williston is hosting the event, which seeks to raise money for cancer research. This year, for the first time, the relay is bringing in a live band for the event. The Beatles tribute band Imagine will be playing tomorrow evening. The festivities get underway around 3 tomorrow and last into the night.
We are very grateful to a very supportive and giving community to keep this relay going for 20 years. Everybody's affected by cancer, whether it's a friend, coworker, neighbor, someone you might know just down the street. Cancer affects so many people in different ways, and this is your way of coming out to fight that battle to find a cure.
Wells says they are more than halfway to their $200,000 goal for the year. The Elks' new national president is visiting all Elks lodges in each state, and North Dakota's lodge on Washington Street in Bismarck was his first stop. Tomorrow is the state meeting where all elk lodges in North Dakota will come together and go over business matters and talk about ways to give back to the community.
This year, with the 150th anniversary, the Elks National Foundation is giving a grant of $1,500 to each lodge in the nation to do something in their community in the name of Elks.
The grant will help with various programs, and I think it'll go to our dictionary program, where we're trying to get dictionaries in the hands of every third grader in the Bismarck-Mandan area.
Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, the public is invited to go to the Elks Lodge in Bismarck and help them celebrate turning 150 years old. For more information on the Elks Lodge, you can find them on Facebook. Coming up, the State Fair is getting ready to wrap up. That plus the forecast is coming up right after this. All right, thanks, Henry. It's day 8 of the 2017 North Dakota State Fair, and staff officials say attendance is up compared to last year. In 2016, the total attendance at the State Fair was just under 300,000. This year, officials say they are on pace to be about 6,700 over that number. They credit all of it to having a variety of entertainment for attendees to enjoy.
A lot of it is the exhibits, the 4-H, the FFA. It sounds like those entries are up. The food. Everybody comes to the fair for the food, and they can't wait for fair time and get that fair food. And so it's a little bit, everybody has a little different flavor. Everybody wants something different, whether it's the entertainment, the food, the carnival, the exhibits. There's so much here.
Korslein says staff are already planning for the 2018 State Fair. 811 Day at the North Dakota State Fair offers good times and free gifts, but the event emphasizes the importance of calling before you dig. Throughout the day, hundreds of fairgoers trickled into the 811 Day tent, taking in science experiments, safety tips, and the result of digging without calling. 811 state leaders and community members say it was a fun way to educate fairgoers about the importance of 811.
811 Day is really about awareness. We get to meet with the general public. People come into the booths. We talk about calling before you dig, which is really important, especially now we're into the middle of summer and a lot of digging activity takes place.
The event wrapped up around 5 today. You can find out more about 811 by checking out their website. And no visit to the North Dakota State Fair would be complete without a stop at the Fur Traders Rendezvous. The rendezvous gives fairgoers a chance to go back in time to the pioneer days of America and get a first-hand look at blacksmiths and woodcarvers in action. Fairgoers also get to take in a shooting demonstration, toss an axe, and even buy some cool souvenirs.
We try to educate people, tell them a little bit about, different aspects of history, maybe some things that people don't know about, and make it fun for them to come through here and come and see what it was like back in the old days.
The rendezvous is located across from the State Fair Center. It's open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And next up in sports, John Cole has highlights from a busy afternoon at the State Legion Baseball Tournament right here in Williston.